Welcome to the Zone Collectibles and More. I was just kind of thinking we're going to start a new segment along with our Q&A segments. There have been many interesting conversations that have happened not only here at the Zone but other places where we've had an interest in. And I just was kind of figuring maybe it would be cool to share some of those really cool subjects and stories that happen around the back issue bin. I think we're going to call it Tales from the Zone. This will be episode 1. And what I think is really cool is how you can take a subject and then it kind of go right, left, up, down, over. Really kind of get off key but quick and still comes out with an interesting outcome. Over the last few months, one of the big things that people were kind of talking about was ENDGAME. And one of kind of the driving question is, excuse me, who made the most detrimental impact to the average citizen in the MCU? Basically, there's two camps of thought. First one is Thanos. The other one is the Avengers. On the surface, you're thinking, okay, Thanos. Not really. When we've had our customers discuss it, and I've brought it up with a few other folks in here at the Zone, yes, Thanos created the snap. Boom. Half life forms gone. Tragic. But ultimately, that snap created an ease to the ones who were left. Resources were easily found, the population problem was over, and now there was room to breathe in the universe, so to speak. So yes, it was detrimental at the time of the snap, but a lot of people think, hey, the true villains and the ones who created the most pain and suffering were the Avengers. Now, hold on. Some folks are going to say, whoa, now, you're getting a little bit there, Kevin, what's going on? But the feeling with a lot of folks is the Avengers could not accept the snap. So it takes them 5 years to figure out how to reverse the snap. And then when they reverse the snap, they don't reverse it at the time that it happened. They do it 5 years later. So stop and think about this. You happen to be one of the lucky ones who survived the snap. You've lost your family. You grieve. You get on with your life. You find yourself a new mate. You get yourself a new house. And 5 years later, for you, everything is more or less as normal as it could possibly be. Then all of a sudden, the reverse snap happens, and now your family's back. You have a new family, and what in the world, how do you deal with that? Emotional pain, the pain of the other people. I mean, it's quite insane. Also, the fact that, hey, food production has now been, after 5 years, scaled back to feed half the population of the world. So now all of a sudden, snap happens, you have twice the amount of people on the earth, but you don't have the capacity to feed them anymore. Okay, now we're starting to see how the Avengers aren't necessarily heroes in this instance. You have some of the brightest people, minus Reed Richards, which we really don't want to get into that for another video for another day. But you take, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what seems to be the most brilliant people, and they're incapable of reversing the snap back to when it happened. Makes you wonder, why didn't they discuss, if they knew this was an option, the heartache that they're bringing the MCU by reversing the snap 5 years later? Let's even take it on a more basic level. You survive the snap. Hey, cool. You get a new apartment. You find a job. You're helping clean up all of the stuff after the snap, and everything's great. All of a sudden, boom, reverse snap. The people who used to be in that apartment are now there, wanting to know, what are you doing in their house? What did you do with their stuff? So I think that from the very essence of Endgame, some folks did some real lazy writing. Just up to me, my opinion, and the opinion of some of my customers, because we've discussed this amongst a lot of us. I'm telling you, a lot of us. And the customers bring up a really good point. How does this happen? And why haven't they strung the Avengers up? Because, did they ask the population? Do you want us to work on reversing the snap? I mean, they've kind of taken their responsibility from saving people to altering a timeline. And a lot of folks aren't real cool with that. And then you can start breaking up the movie into more things like, we don't want to get into that. A lot of other channels have covered a lot of other things, and there's a lot of points about, bringing in Miss Marvel and, the simple fact that Tony Stark, one of the brilliant guys in the universe, he's on an alien ship and can't save himself, but yet that's also a video for another day. But he can figure out time travel in less than like an afternoon. Wonderful. This was the end. They crammed a lot of stuff in a really long movie. And some of the stuff that they picked wasn't really well thought out, in my opinion, and some of the opinions of my customers. So we just kind of want to table that and let you kick it around and really think about it. In the ultimate end game, was Thanos the one who was more of a villain? Or was it the Avengers? I mean, when you have Thanos who wants to push his will for the betterment of the universe, and then you have the Avengers who want to do what they want to do because they want to do it with no real plus, considering 5 years. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing it out there for y'all. Kick it around. Think about it. If you've got comments, we'd love to hear them. I'm sure a lot of the other fandom would love to hear them. And we're going to be doing more of these videos with other things that, we've been kicking around the back issue bin area. And it's really interesting to see everybody's different point of view with this kind of thing. So, as always, this has been Kevin, the Resident RM, signing off. Over, but never out. And let's keep those fandom flags flying. Guys, have a great day.